Alrighty, so I think it's maybe a little overdue, I guess. I'm going to take this time in this video to sort of rant maybe about a couple of things that I think are really annoying about the game at the moment, because I guess with the events that we have at the moment, it's really kind of, I guess, just all setting in almost. I'm not like tired of the game or anything by any means, and I know by the nature of the video this is probably going to be kind of negative, but I don't want I don't want you guys to just go into the comment section and be like, this game sucks. I hate this game, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it. Everybody, dislikes different parts of the game. Keep it a little bit constructive. Keep it, civil, of course. I'm not trying to just sit here and bash on them for, just dumb stuff. I think that some of this stuff is pretty justified as far as I can tell. If you think that I'm overreacting about some of the things, maybe let me know. I mean, let me know if I don't say anything that you're kind of upset about with the game at the moment. So, I guess first and foremost, these events right now are awful. I have to say, Croc Shell is back, and although they did tweak Croc Shell a little bit, and they made it to where Extreme is not insanely, like ridiculous as far as like having to put on like 7 to 9 ignites. They've now reduced it to 6, which is really nice. But overall, like, the biggest thing that bothers me is why do event bosses have stamina cost? I mean, you literally, like, you just gave us, a brand new update. We've got a new final boss that we have to deal with, which is very costly on stamina. Even the hard difficulty is 20 stamina, and it's 50 stamina per run for the challenge difficulty. So why does everything have to cost so much stamina? Like, I get it, stamina regeneration, regenerates over the, course of the day and everything like that, but people don't want to have to take a break from the game and just wait for their stuff to, regen, or have to pop a stamina pot every time they want to do something. Like, I mean, I get it. Stamina's a part of the game. It is what it is. Pretty much every gacha game, except for, a few here and there, basically use a stamina system. So I get it, but this is really high. This is supposed to be like an event. It's supposed to be something that the players can kind of, throw themselves into, have fun with, get free rewards and stuff like that out of the shop. But it's almost as if the, Netmarble's like, oh, there's a shop with rewards in it. We have to make them work for it. This is now a job. Like, this is way too much to have to deal with, all at one time. Like, I get it. Some bosses don't have stamina costs. Like, some of the events that they do not. And it's just a daily count, which already kind of annoys me. Like, let me play this as many times as I want to, so that way I can knock it all out at one time if I have to. Like, don't make people have to log in every single day just so that way they can, I mean, like, you want to log in for your dailies and stuff regardless, but you don't want to have to run this every single day, because when they put these kind of events out, it not only extends the time that you have to spend on the game every time you get on until the event's over, or until you get everything that you want out of it, but it's just annoying. It's tedious. It gets boring. Like, after the first 2 or 3 runs of this boss, you're sick of it. Like, I don't want to do this boss, 80,000 times in a week, but I have to do it 5 times a day instead of just being able to knock it out. And just, if I have free time one day, like, hey, let me hop on here and just knock it all out and bang it out, and then get all the rewards that I need out of here and just be done with it for the week. That doesn't seem like it's too much to ask. It's a mobile game. It's not supposed to be something that I'm committing like half of my day to, and I'm a YouTuber. I play the game for a living, basically. So if I'm upset that I have to run this thing, I can't imagine what normal casual players are doing. Like, you get home from work and you get on this game to have a little bit of fun, mess around with your account a little bit, and you're like, well, not only is it going to take me 20 to 25 minutes maybe to do my dailies, but now I've got to wait and do this annoying boss, 5 times, which is going to take me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes because of the way that it's structured. Like, literally the first turn is just you stalling and adding ignite stacks without doing damage. Like, it's just annoying, you know what I mean? Final boss Tarmiel, I get it. I really do. I understand, they're like, oh, we don't want people to absolutely just shred through the boss. I would much rather the boss have way more HP that you have to beat through than him have a damage cap. Damage caps, I know everybody and their brother has talked about it at this point. Damage caps suck. 20% max damage cap is ridiculous. Like, the fact that, you know, you have to deal with these really annoying mechanics. And I understand that this is the hardest difficulty. This is challenge difficulty. They want this to be a challenge. But when you make an exchange shop where you basically have to farm out these challenge points if you want to get all of the good stuff in the shop, you know, luckily I've done it 1,000,001 times at this point. So, you know, I've got the outfit that you get from it. I've got the card that you get from it, which, by the way, the card kind of sucks. I mean, hopefully, honestly, with as limited as this card is, hopefully they don't make a card set for it. But if it was more easily accessible, you know, I would love that. But this card is almost useless. I mean, because it's so limited, and a lot of players aren't going to be able to get their hands on it because they would much rather have a costume piece over an artifact card, you know, because you can only get 100 of these challenge points if you're not able to beat challenge mode, which a lot of players aren't going to be able to. It's really hard. It's difficult. And going into that, you know, you want to be able to get all of the things out of the store, and you want to be able to do it somewhat efficiently, but you make the damage cap on here, and then there's two ways to get past the damage cap: Abyss on an ultimate, or a counter. Counters bypass through damage caps, and so does Abyss. And the only reason Abyss works is because he has adds that you deal a lot of damage to regardless. So the Abyss on his turn, when it swaps over, deals a lot of damage if you're unaware. It's just, it forces people into this very niche way of playing. You know, they said in the dev notes, they were like, oh, we're gonna make the final boss a lot more, you know, like team building wise. Like you can run all kinds of different, you know, teams, and it's not going to be like it was where, you know, only one team is like the best team to use for points or whatever the case may be. And I guess technically there's two different teams that people are using, but they literally use the exact same mechanic, which is Sariel countering. So you really didn't fix anything there. People are going to want to take the most efficient way, of course, and I can understand that. But, you know, you got to do something here, man. This is 50 stamina per run, and on this one, unless you have a maxed out 6/6 Rimuru with Merlin's Holy Relic and a very specific team, like you have to have this team right here, but you have to have Merlin's Relic, you have to have Kizuna, you have to have a buff removal. It doesn't have to be Scotty, and then you have to have a 6/6 Rimuru, so that way you can efficiently farm challenge difficulty, which is just, it locks it behind a, you know, being a whale, and that's not fun for anybody. I mean, the whales are having fun with it, I guess, because they get to do it very efficiently and get it over with as fast as possible, but everybody else is suffering, so that sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Another thing that I've been really annoyed with lately is the Super Awakening Coin Dungeon. The Super Awakening Coin Dungeon blows. It's awful. The fact that you're not guaranteed to drop at least one chest on both phases makes this thing so annoying to run. You have to, if you want to get your money's worth, I guess money's worth, like your time, and actually get decent rewards out of this, if you don't drop a chest on phase 1, you have to reset and hope you do. And sometimes you just get really lucky and you don't drop a chest for several runs in a row, which is very, very annoying, because not only can you only do this 12 times, but it's also locked behind a time limit, so you can only do it for 30 minutes. So if you get enough bad runs and bad RNG, you just lose the rewards, and that's just that. So I would love if they would just make it to where you drop a chest guaranteed on phase 1 and 2, so that way you can just put it on auto and not have to worry about it. Like it's almost a chore to do these things, which are like a reward almost. Like, they used to give us these dungeon keys every single week, and then they scaled it back to every 2 weeks, and then you get an extra training grotto key on the other week. But you know, people want to invest in their box. You have this whole system that you've put into place where you want people to, invest into their accounts and, get GP and just build up and make box CC, so that way you get more, rewards, and you get higher, HP boosts and everything once you reach these milestones. But nobody can work on their account because you're locking all of these rewards behind abysmal rates and just terrible stuff like that. So that's really, really bad. I really hate that. I want, the stuff to be farmable and enjoyable, because I don't know, that sucks. The only other thing I really want to talk about is Holy Relics, I guess. Holy Relics are just a huge missed opportunity, I feel like, for most of the characters that they end up giving them to. I honestly feel like some of these characters are getting Holy Relics either way too soon, or the newer modern characters all feel like they're half released. Like the new Zeldris, he's starting to look kind of good. I did a video on him earlier this week where I ran him with some of the newer demons, and he actually does pretty well with the newer demon support and everything. So if it's like a case where they're like, oh, like you're going to want to run him with this unit or whatever, but the unit should be pretty decent on his own. And if you don't run this unit, with the characters that he needs, he's not nearly as good as you would want him to be. And so, like, this unit, to me, feels like a character that they were like, okay, let's make him good, and then let's basically, like, cut his performance down a bit, because we'll give him room in the future to get a Holy Relic and become better. So I wish they would just make units good to begin with, and then once the meta eventually creeps forward, because power creep is terrible in this game. Like, characters drop out of the meta within like a month or two of their release. Once it's been a while and people haven't used the character for a little while, give them a relic. Give them something good that will bounce them back into the meta and actually make them playable again. But you have all of these old characters that are just abysmal and get, bad relics already. Like, nobody cares about Valenti's relic. It gives her ultimate move gauge or whatever. It's okay at best. But it didn't really bring her back into the meta or anything like that. There's just so many characters that kind of had missed opportunities there, which is super annoying to see, because it was supposed to be like a great, like, it had so much potential to be a wonderful comeback mechanic. Zaratros is a terrible relic. It's literally, here's his passive, and then the relic is, hey, it's the same thing as his passive, but because his passive excludes PvP in it, we're gonna make it for PvP. Like, that's dumb. That's so stupid. And on top of that, there's over 200 characters in this game, and a lot of them still don't have relics. Like, Gila doesn't have a relic. Jericho doesn't have a relic. I don't know. There's tons of characters. Gustav doesn't have a relic. He's day one really old SR character. Dreyfus doesn't have a relic. Hendrickson doesn't have a relic. Demon Hendrickson doesn't have a relic. I don't know. There's just so many characters that need relics, and you have the content in the game, but nobody wants to farm it because you're not adding any relics. So, I don't know. It just... I'm kind of annoyed, I guess, more than anything. Like I said, I don't want this to be inherently, like, just bash on Grand Cross Day or anything like that, but some of the stuff... It's kind of ridiculous, I get it. Like, there's the running joke that there's nobody on the development team at the moment. Like, there's very few people actually working on the game, and I really didn't like that joke in the beginning. I thought that was really dumb, and I was like, oh, it's a video game. Like, they're bound to still have people working on the game. But when a lot of the updates have stuff like this, and it's just really dumb and annoying stuff and just rehashed, things that we've seen 1,000 times, and you don't add any new relics or like actual meaningful content or anything, it just doesn't, it makes me wonder if everybody's right and there's really nobody working on this thing. So obviously they have a new game that they're working on, and I hope that they didn't just move everybody over to that team, but they're really making me think so. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, leave anything that you're kind of annoyed about in the comments, because I'm sure it probably annoys me too, but it wasn't on my top list of things that I've really been getting angry about, I guess. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to go over, so I don't know. Maybe not your kind of video. Understandable if not. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to subscribe and all that good stuff. See you in the next one.